Good morning, Dr. Webb. The article that we went over for homework this week for our Reflect and Connect mostly talks about alternative strings and different types of music to play for your high school orchestra. The first thing it goes over is it just talks about like the different tradition of orchestra and how classical music is predominantly what is played, which would be like mostly Western music, European music from the 1800s, 1900s, stuff like that. So you're going to get a lot of white male composers playing predominantly classical music in a few selective keys, predominantly just simple, more not simple rhythms, but not including things such as like triplets or not triplets really, but oh my god, like swung notes, stuff like that. Yeah, so there's a lot of different things that allowing these other musical styles help you do. These are things such as like different tonal centers and different keys. There might be different kinds of expressions and ornamentations played that aren't commonly played in this type of music. Another thing is just letting the students play like other kinds of music. So a lot of different styles that can be implemented. Some of these include things just as like just playing like a pop tune or an arrangement of tunes that the students really enjoy. These are really helpful both for keeping your students engaged and just having them play something that they know and that they want to play. And then other things could be such as other styles of music. Maybe you want to help them explore different cultures. You can play things such as like a Latin American music or things like that. You can play different like more like fiddle oriented music, fiddle tunes. Maybe you can explore different like instrumentations, so they can play like with some other string, like other winds and brass players. Another thing they can do is a lot, especially these pop pieces, you can have them play with a guitar and a set. That's another thing that'll help a lot. So there's a lot of different like parts of like a style, I guess, or different kinds of music. There's a lot of different factors that you want to consider. One of the things you want to consider is the speed and just like how fast the piece is and how long the piece is and like what kind of bow it goes after, like short bows, long bows, these kind of things. Like you can also pick one of these pieces that like non-classical, like traditional pieces to help build up a certain part of your students playing. Another thing that they can worry about is like different articulations or different like uses of the bow. You can pick a very like rhythmic piece if you want them to like work on learning different rhythms. If you want them work on learning different passages and things like that. Another thing you want to make sure is that the students are meeting the national standards when they're playing. So these are things such as like creating. The creating can actually be used when you're doing something like a jazz piece, and that allows the students to either go through a chord changes, they can pick their own notes in these chord changes, or they can have a student solo over something. Another thing could be having them compose and arrange musics, which would also then relate to the creativity, and also that can then relate to like notating their own music if they want to do something more written out and more of a prepared solo. Another thing that also it allows them to like read different musics, read different styles, like understand these rhythms that are being played more easily so they can understand them. This can like be like even teach them like a swung rhythm in one of these jazz pieces, or like having them play a pop tune which is like a different rhythm that they're not used to, or even just like having different instruments keep the beat when it's not usually them. Overall, this article went through a lot of the different styles of music or styles of string music they can play, and overall it had there's a lot of different things that can greatly benefit the students.